Hey, everybody. I want to thank you for checking out my broadcast today. My name is Jonathan. This is day 142 of my 3-year challenge. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me. I'm 38 years old, father of 4. Last November, last year, I decided that it was time to take control over my weight, and I had let food addiction kind of take over, and just I ended up getting up to 519.8 pounds, or I was probably more than that at one point. But when I started this challenge on November 1st, that was my starting weight. The Over the course of the last 4.5 months, I've had great success. I've lost over 160 pounds. I've done it through a combination of extended fasting and a whole food plant based diet free of salt, oil, or sugar, or added salt, oil, or sugar. If anybody has any non scale victories, I'd love to hear about that. If you have any scale victories or anything else you'd like to discuss today, I'd like to hear that as well. Carrie's checking in saying, "Hey, hi, Carrie. I hope that your day has gone well today." Um, the I won't have a weigh in today. I will be weighing in on Wednesday like normal, or like kind of as I do every week. I'm going to start weighing in on Wednesday. I'm finding that it's just better for me uh to not have to stress over trying, to weigh in more constant, more often than that. I will be weighing in on Wednesday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It is Monday. I'm going to move the mic here a little bit. Hopefully, it doesn't make too much noise for you guys on that end. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know I had a really good weekend. Really, all of my non-scale victories are going to be from this weekend, just because of how active I ended up being, especially on Saturday. Uh, the going into Saturday, I knew it was going to be a bit busier day. We had an event that I had to go to for my son's Cub Scouts, and then we also had a birthday celebration for um, my mom. And birthdays are always, or any celebration or get together, are always tough, and I'll go more into that here in a little bit. Uh, but Saturday, everything's started off normal, or was normal. I work a half day in the morning. I ended up, because of the timing, and I'm fortunate enough that I was able to bring my son to work with me. So we did some things. I guess, yeah, I can kind of just go through the whole day, but I had some stuff I had to do early, but I was able to leave the office with him for uh, a little while so that we could go get breakfast. That was probably the first interesting part of the day for me, was that we went to it's like a grocery store that has a deli attached to it. Or they offer a lot of different food options, and you can eat there. I hadn't really even thought about eating there till we got there, and it was open. I didn't think about whether or not it would the dining area would be open because of COVID or not. And so uh, we ended up going, and fortunately, the produce is right as you walk in, or right as you buy. I bought my son breakfast, and it was nice because he was just kind of able to get whatever he wanted. And in hindsight, it was a good thing I did let him get a big breakfast. So he ate his breakfast, and then I bought a bag of oranges on the way up to the counter. So I bought them at the counter. So while he had his breakfast, I had a couple, two, three oranges, and just kind of hung out with him. It was really good to have just some one-on-one time with him, because with having four kids, you don't always get that kind of time with each of your kids. So that was nice to have that time with him. Went back, finished up what we had to do at the office, and then we went to his Cub Scout event. That uh, the biggest part non-scale victory of it is that a year ago I would not have gone to the event. We either Carrie would have gone to the event, or we would have maybe signed him up and had another parent go. Or worst case scenario is that we would not have had him go at all. We would have just sorry, excuse me. We would have, he would have missed the event. And so uh thinking about that, like, aspect of it, like, if he would have missed the event because of my health, or where I was a year ago, looking at it now, that would have been pretty I wouldn't have thought about it the same way. But looking at it from the aspect that we did go and I've lost the weight, it would have been disappointing that he wouldn't have been able to go and have that experience for a 9-year-old boy to be able to go and just play around with slingshots and BB guns and do other activities with other kids his age. Was really would have been a missed opportunity. It would have been something that I would have been disappointed that he uh, missed out on in hindsight. And also, if we would have gone with option two and had the other parents help him out, he would not have had the experience he had, because there was already a shortage of parents there helping, and it would have made it more difficult for the parents that were there to help kind of do the things. Because the other thing they got to do was shoot a rocket, which was kind of cool. Like, it was a pretty simple kit that we put together, but it was a bunch of activities that he was able to do that a year ago there was a potential that he wouldn't have done it, or if he would have done it, it wouldn't have been as enjoyable for him, because I would not have been there to help him, and just I wouldn't have been there in general. So that was the first big part of the non-scale victories from that day. The other would be the amount of walking that I ended up doing. I was kind of looking through. I have a watch that tracks my steps, and I was looking back, and kind of during the week or midweek, I do anywhere between 2 and 4.5 miles that it records of walking. It's not the most accurate, probably, piece of equipment ever made. But uh, this weekend, I definitely hit my step goals as far as uh, I'm looking at the wrong days here now. Let me see if I can get this to today's date. But I know that on Saturday I had doubled what this calculates as a step goal for me, which isn't a lot of steps, but I did 14,000 steps on Saturday. I think that it said it was 7.3 miles of total walking. Um, I actually, when we first started, I hadn't even thought about that I was going to be walking around that much. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be walking around that much until we got there and they started kind of explaining what was going on. Our group started off with like a tour of this campground or this camp facility that they have for Boy Scouts. And the lady was like, well, it's going to take us 45 minutes to do this tour. And we walked pretty much the whole 45 minutes. But then that also, for me, meant that I was going to be on my feet for there was 5 sessions, and if one of them was 45 minutes, that means they all had to kind of be that long. Thankfully they were not all that long, but the first 2 units that we did, the uh, the tour and the rockets, definitely took all of the time that we had allotted for those, and then we made up for it with the next couple of things that we did. But uh, so anyways, once I realized I was going to be doing a lot of walking, I was like, oh, I have this watch. I can pop up this thing and say I'm doing hiking, and it'll track and keep kind of a map and everything because it's a Garmin watch. And I go and I hit the button and I look, and my battery on my watch is like almost dead. Because when I use the watch and don't use any of the GPS function on the watch or any of the tracking function on the watch, it generally uh, lasts me for a week or 2 weeks on one charge. I don't have to mess with it. But once you turn on the tracking function, it zaps the battery really quickly. And I ended up turning that off only about a quarter or a half mile into any type of hiking that we did. But we definitely did a lot of walking around uh, on Saturday. So it was nice. By the end of it, I was done with being on my feet. It was scheduled from 1 to 5, and so it was probably getting close to 3 o'clock when we finally got to our final event. We left about 4:30, uh, but at that point, it was his final event, and it was something that I wasn't going to be like physically helping him with. It was they were shooting BB guns at targets, and they had lots of instructors. And sometimes it's better to just let somebody else, you know, give direction to your kid versus you trying to do it. So in that respect, so while he was doing his final kind of thing, I found a nice patch of grass and kind of got comfortable, laid down, and didn't really um, there was like there was one picnic bench that there was 4 or 5 people kind of sitting at that it had filled up, and there was a few other parents standing around, but not many, just a couple at that point. And so I don't even care. I'm just gonna sit down and kind of relax and let him finish up what he was doing with that event. When that got over and I had to get up, though, I realized that I instantly regretted laying down. It probably was better that I laid down overall, but all of my knee and my ankle and my hip and all my joints started groaning when I stood back up. So, and then we had a nice little hike back to the car. But overall, it was great. I never felt winded, which was a big thing. Like I would have been back of the pack on the tour and just crushed. It would have crushed me all that walking if I would have done it previously. and that was really kind of nice. Another big thing was that I was in a crowd of people. I did not feel as if I was the biggest guy in the place. I mean, there's uh, as weird as it is, as like being 6 foot tall and 500 pounds. Even if somebody was a couple inches taller than me and big, I would always kind of feel like I was bigger than them. But just because overall I felt bigger. But now, like when I see somebody who's 6'2", 6'4", and big, I kind of feel more like we are the same size. And we probably are the same size, like because me being 360 is not something that people are still. But overall, I'm feeling much uh, more comfortable in my skin. I more open or more kind of chatty with people, I suppose, than trying to stick to the people that I know or the group that I know. Um, but overall, like I said, that was a huge victory getting through that day, actually participating in the event, getting to spend the time with my son, and overall, it was a great experience. The other half of what would be my big Saturday and the big non-scale victories of Saturday, and it didn't necessarily contribute to my steps, but uh, I mentioned earlier that we went and we celebrated my mother's birthday, and I think she turned like 48 or something. So, um, or 58, maybe that's more believable. Um, so uh, we went and we had the birthday, and it's one of those things where any celebration, it kind of, there's some anxiety about it, and there's a little bit of, we want to be comfortable, um, and have a good time, but also not be like starving or wishing that there was food options for us. And we kind of had like a potluck thing where a few different people brought different things, and we were in charge of vegetables because I suppose that will be our forever designation now that we are the crazy people who eat only vegetables. So we brought kind of a standard veggie tray: carrots, celery, a ranch dip. I think there was cucumbers, a few other things in that on that tray, and then. And I wish Carrie would have taken a photo of it, or if I would have taken a photo of it when I thought about it. But essentially, what Carrie did was she made a very large bowl, like a big serving bowl that you would normally bring probably like macaroni pasta or something in. It was big though, like a big popcorn bowl. And she had just prepared kind of like a super huge version of a salad that we would eat. The other thing, she like chopped it up already too, so that it was more dense than just like spinach leaves, because it might not have been enough salad with just spinach leaves for everybody. But like she took the time to cut it up, and it really had the whole spectrum of the rainbow as far as vegetables in it. There was she had peppers, she had carrots, she had corn. There was peas in it, and then she also had the cabbage or whatever, the purple cabbage, I think it was. I don't think there was any onion in it. But then she also made some of the dressing that we enjoy as well. I think she brought some ranch dressing for people who don't like that. But we had a few of our family members that tried it. They expressed that they liked it. I imagine they did. Um, I was just starving when I got there. And that actually, I didn't even talk about that, is that whole Cub Scout thing. Like all of us knew there was going to be stuff. We kind of thought it was going to be like, if you want to do this event, you go there. That event, you go there. That event, you go there. And it was more of a guided thing or on our own, sessions or whatever. Um, and so we had gotten to a point where we were in the middle of the fourth of the five activities. We were waiting to do the fourth of the five activities in line, and some of the other parents in our group had expressed that they were uh, that they would have brought more snacks for the kids, and that is definitely where my son lucked out, is because when we left in the morning, he had not had breakfast, and Carrie packed him enough snacks for him to eat breakfast at my office and then also have snacks or a couple snacks while we were at the Cub Scout event. Because we ended up going out for breakfast, he had all of his snacks plus or he had all of the snacks that had been packed, and so it worked out great. I think it was like 3 Lara bars and a thing of Cheez-Its was like the main parts of what he had. And then what I had was that I had bought a 3 pound bag of Halo or Cutie or Mandarin oranges or whatever, they're the small oranges, and that's what I had had for breakfast. And so I threw that whole bag of oranges in the backpack that I was carrying for the day. And then when we got to that event, the one parent was wishing that they had brought more snacks while my son was eating like his fifth Lara bar or whatever. Like every time he's like, "Hey, I got another snack in there," and I was like, "What?" So how many snacks? It wasn't until after the fact that I realized that she had packed him breakfast, and that's why he had so many snacks. Um, but I was able to pull through for her kids because I had a whole bag of oranges, so they all at least got an orange while they were waiting in line, and it was nice to be able to help out like that and to have the snack, and it was something where I was going to need the snack anyways. But back to the birthday party, I uh really was hungry. Like I had my whole diet, I don't know if I even grabbed anything out the door. My whole diet, it consisted of oranges up until I got to my parents' house for the birthday party on Saturday, and we were late too, so it was like 5:30 before we got there. And like I walked in and that big salad was sitting on the island or whatever. I didn't even look around. Like I walked over to the cupboard, and my mom has some like larger bowls. They're probably like the width of a plate, like large, and then they're only like, an inch or two tall. So they got like a big uh wide bowl. And I went, grabbed one of those, went right over to the salad, and just started, just, filled it up or 2/3 of the way up with the salad. And really, like, so people kind of were saying hi to me and everything. And then it wasn't until I kind of looked up and I was like, "Oh, have you guys eaten yet?" I kind of assumed that since we were late, everybody had already started eating and nobody had eaten yet. But I didn't care and I was going to start eating. And so I ended up getting salad together and having that and really enjoyed that and did not end up having any issues. I grabbed a couple of the carrots and celery. I actually ate celery just right off the veggie tray. It's crazy. Um, but overall, it was really nice to go to a celebration and to be prepared ourselves. Carrie did all the preparation, so she's the real champion there. Um, but to have an option for us, and then also it was a great salad. I mean, it was really an enjoyable salad. I think that um, it had, a lot of a huge variety of vegetables in it. It was really good overall, and so it was nice to have, um, like I said, to go to a celebration like that and to be able to leave satisfied with the celebration, or the have a good time, and then also be satisfied uh, physically through food, because that's something that we've had to deal with now since we started this is going to special events. We either have to kind of eat ahead of time or we have to make plans for what we're going to eat. And that's not, I don't know why this guy keeps calling me back and back. But I could probably do this here real quick. So, um, but overall, the weekend was a success. Sunday, I still did hit quite a few steps on Sunday. Looking at the app there, let me see. On Sunday, it was 10,900. So I did 5.7 miles on Sunday, and that was just a lot of it being a really great day to be outside and doing stuff outside. And so that is what I was just outside almost all Sunday morning, kind of taking care of that. I did something else. Yeah, no, we went shopping with the family. And so I had some steps, I suppose, from going shopping with the family. But yeah, so that was kind of like I said, it was a busy weekend. I had a great time this weekend, and it was I have the scale here, so I get on the scale, and I'm not lighter Monday than I was Friday when I left, but I'm also not disappointed with what the scale says. I know that when I'm at home, I eat a lot more than when I'm at work. I just don't have access to food here like I do at home. And I probably literally ate a 5 pound bag of oranges over the course of the whole weekend. So it's all weight from just eating oranges, I swear. Uh, but that's going to be it for me today. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. If you hit the bell icon, turn on notifications to be notified when I do go live. I'm planning on going live at 4 p.m. Central throughout the week here. I will be weighing in on Wednesday for my weekly weigh-in. If you, I also have the Instagram, which is at Fasting. That's FAHSTING. And then, as well as a Discord that if you want to ask us any questions, me or Carrie, she's on the Discord a lot. We post some recipes that we really enjoy with our diet on there, and just post some other things. I kind of put a funny photo up of one of my face masks the other day. So, but if yeah, if you guys get a chance to see me again, that'd be great. I don't know. I started saying if I didn't know how to finish the sentence. So, anyways, I'm gonna go and figure out what the phone calls are about there. And you guys have a great day. We will be back on tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central. Thanks for hanging out here today.